The 7-seater segment is not exactly known for being the trendiest end of the market, and an MPV tends to be a car that you need rather than want to buy. Certain companies make that prospect a little bit less scary though, like the new Volkswagen Touran, which as people carriers go is actually pretty easy on the eye. Now based on the same MQB platform as the Golf, its sleek new lines give it a neater and more car-like look, despite the fact that it's actually bigger inside than the last one. We'll start with the back seats, which are the whole point of these things after all, and in case you haven't guessed it yet, this isn't really my market. I don't carry little people around myself very often, so I borrowed some small reviewers earlier to test them out properly. You can fit 3 full-size car seats across the back row, and they're all equipped with Isofix anchors. Then if you're lucky or crazy enough to have more than that again, there's 2 more in the back row of seats. So you can, in theory, carry 5 children in car seats around in the Touran. And with the amount of space available and according to reviews from my backseat passengers earlier, they should be pretty comfortable too. The problem there though, as I soon realised with my little experiment earlier, is that children tend to come with a lot of stuff. And with that very back row up, you don't get a lot of boot space. Like the rest of the cars in this class, those rearmost seats are really only meant for occasional use and are definitely only suitable for children. So if you need to use more than 5 seats on a regular basis and need a boot too, you're probably still going to have to consider something bigger, like the Touran or the Ford Galaxy in the class above. Fold the last row down in this one, however, and there's room for at least 2 buggies with a massive 740 litres of space. Or kick everyone out, fold the middle row down too, and what you're left with is essentially a small van. The great thing about the Touran is that the space inside is not just plentiful, it's also very useful, and there's tons of storage compartments around the cabin. 47 in total apparently. I didn't quite manage to find them all, but that might be a nice challenge for the kids. The cabin itself feels very familiar, and if you look straight ahead and maybe block your ears to drown out the noise from the back, you could very well be in a Golf or a Passat, and it's now finished to the same high standard that we've come to expect from Volkswagen. The same goes for equipment levels, and all models come with air conditioning, Bluetooth, USB connectivity and a 5-inch colour radio system. The mid-spec comfort line adds 16-inch alloy wheels, parking sensors, cruise control and a 6.5-inch touchscreen display. That paired with the 1.6 TDI will be the volume seller here and rings in at about €34,500. This top-spec Highline gets all the latest in-car technology, including adaptive cruise control and the new Pure Air 3-zone climate control, which will actually filter and improve the quality of the air coming into the cabin, helping to protect the little lungs in the back. And as if they're not spoilt enough back there, they've also got these handy fold-down lap trays, which may or may not save your upholstery from mashed-up crumbs and juice spillages. They can also be used as iPad holders to keep them entertained on longer journeys. There's a choice of 3 engines, from the entry-level 1.2-litre petrol to this range-topping 2-litre diesel, which with 150 HP does feel very quick and powerful, even when you've got a full load in the back. The one more likely to fall into most people's budgets, however, is a 1.6-litre TDI, which is still a very capable option. Claimed fuel economy for that model is 4.5 litres per 100 kilometres or 63 miles to the gallon, and it costs just €200 a year to tax. I won't waste too much time with driving dynamics because these aren't cars made for driving pleasure. What I will say though is that it doesn't feel half as big on the road as you might think, and other than that it's everything you want in a family car, which is smooth, comfortable and quiet. Safety is more likely to be a bigger concern, and not only did it score the full 5 stars on the NCAP crash test, you can also spec it up with some extra driver assisting features like lane change assist and automatic distance control. Parking sensors are standard from the mid-spec model upwards, and you can also get it with a reversing camera if you're not used to driving a car of this size. I still can't say I want to buy one anytime soon, but if this is a glimpse of the future, well then it's not quite as scary as I first imagined. Volkswagen have done an awful lot here to take the stress out of carrying tiny passengers around, and in fairness to them, they've managed to do it in a bit of style too. You can browse a huge range of new and used Tourans as well as its competitors, and now even book yourself a test drive at your local Volkswagen dealer on CarsIreland.ie.